Have you ever had one of those days? A day where the world felt too loud, the expectations too heavy, and your heart just exhausted. You walk through your front door and you know there are people you could call, friends who would listen, family who would offer advice. But the thought of speaking, of having to translate your messy, tangled emotions into coherent sentences feels like another chore you just can't handle. Then you feel it. A cold nose against your hand, a soft purr vibrating against your chest, a pair of eyes looking up at you with zero expectations, zero judgment, and 1,000% devotion. In that moment, you realize something profound, even if it feels a little wrong to say out loud. Right now, I don't need a human. I need my pet. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the psychology of why our animals often become our primary therapists, why in our darkest hours, a wagging tail or a quiet meow is more healing than the most perfect human advice. Welcome back to Dude Psychology. Let's explore the silent language of the soul.
Hi, everyone. The primary reason humans can be exhausting when we're hurting is what psychologists call the burden of explanation. When you're grieving, burnt out, or anxious and you talk to another person, there is an unspoken social contract. You have to explain why you feel that way. You have to provide context, and often the person on the other end feels a desperate need to fix you. They offer platitudes like, "Everything happens for a reason," or "You just need to get out more." While they mean well, they are inadvertently asking you to perform being okay or being logical.
Pets, however, don't have a fix-it reflex. They don't care about the why. They don't need to know if your boss was mean or if your bank account is low. They respond to your energy, not your story. This creates a safe psychological container. With them, you can just be. You don't have to be the successful version of yourself or even the sane version. You can just be a person on the floor crying, and to them, you are still the center of the universe.
It isn't just all in your head. There is a hardwired biological reason why your pet feels like a walking antidepressant. When you gaze into your pet's eyes or stroke their fur, your brain undergoes a chemical shift. Studies have shown a massive spike in oxytocin, often called the cuddle chemical or the bonding hormone. Interestingly, this isn't a one-way street. Research from the University of Tokyo found that when owners and dogs interact, both experience an oxytocin surge.
But it goes deeper. Pets help lower our cortisol levels, the stress hormone. In a study where people had to perform a stressful task, those who had their pets nearby showed lower heart rates and blood pressure than those who had their spouses or best friends nearby. Why? Because humans are evaluative. Even if we love someone, we subconsciously wonder what they're thinking about us. Animals are non-evaluative. Their presence is pure.
Have you ever noticed your pet acting differently when you're sad? Maybe your usually hyper dog becomes incredibly calm, or your independent cat won't leave your side. This is due to emotional contagion and mirror neurons. Pets are masters of reading nonverbal cues. They detect changes in our scent, our breathing patterns, and our micro-movements.
In psychology, we talk about co-regulation. This is when one person's nervous system helps calm another's. When you're spiraling into anxiety, your pet's steady heart rate, their rhythmic breathing, and their grounded presence act as an anchor. They aren't trying to talk you out of your panic, they are physically pulling you back to earth.
There are specific chapters in life where the human world feels particularly alienating. Think about grief. When you lose someone, people eventually stop calling. They get grief fatigue. They want you to move on. But your pet? They sit in that empty space with you every single day. They don't find your sadness repetitive.
Think about social anxiety. For some, the world of human interaction feels like a minefield of judgment. A pet provides the benefits of companionship without the risk of rejection. Or think about burnout. When you feel like a failure in your career, a pet reminds you that your productivity has zero impact on your value. To your dog, you aren't a mid-level manager who missed a deadline, you are the person who provides scritches. That's a powerful ego reboot.
Sometimes the most therapeutic thing about a pet isn't the emotional support, it's the responsibility. When you're in the depths of depression, getting out of bed for yourself feels impossible, but getting out of bed because a small living creature needs to eat, that is a lifeline. Pets force us back into the rhythm of life. They demand we engage with the world, even if it's just a walk around the block or opening a can of food. This behavioral activation is a cornerstone of therapy. By taking care of them, we accidentally end up taking care of ourselves.
To be human is to be complicated. We are messy, we use words that hurt, and we carry baggage. But to be a pet is to be simple in the most beautiful way possible. They are the silent witnesses to our lives. They see us at our worst, in our pajamas, mid-breakdown, or failing at our goals, and they don't love us any less. In fact, they might love us more because we're home.
So, the next time you feel a bit guilty for wanting to cancel plans with friends just to stay home with your cat or dog, don't. Your brain knows what it needs. Sometimes the best therapy doesn't come in a 50-minute session or a self-help book. Sometimes it has 4 legs and a wet nose.
I remember a time in my life when things felt like they were falling apart. I felt like I had to perform happiness for everyone around me so they wouldn't worry. The only place I felt truly safe was on my couch with my dog, Cooper. He didn't ask me how I was doing. He just leaned his weight against my leg and let out a long sigh. In that sigh, I felt more understood than in 1,000 conversations. It's that no strings attached love that truly saves us. Thank you so much for joining me today on Dude Psychology. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear about your therapy pet in the comments. What's their name, and how have they helped you through a tough time? If you found this deep dive helpful, please give this video a like. It really helps the channel reach more people who might need to hear this today. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep exploring the fascinating world of human together.